Welcome to The Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into something, well, really fundamental, something we all do but maybe don't think about too much. Daily routines and free time. And here's the interesting twist. Our source material for this deep dive, it actually comes from, believe it or not, excerpts from an English learning podcast.
Right, which might sound a bit basic at first glance.
Exactly, but that's the beauty of it. Because it's stripped down, it gives us this incredibly clear, almost unfiltered view of the basic structure of how we live our days.
The blueprint, you could say.
Yeah, the blueprint. So our mission today is to pull out those fascinating little nuggets, those insights about how we actually structure our time. From waking up to going to bed.
Exploring the patterns, the variations.
And what our free time really says about us, our priorities. I mean, think about it. Routines are more than just habits, right? They're like the architecture of our lives.
Yeah.
What can we actually learn by breaking them down?
It's a great way to frame it, because what seems like just repetition day in, day out, it's actually a pretty complex system. Behaviors, psychological anchors.
Right.
And looking at these really simple descriptions, from our source, gives us access to the raw data, you could say, of how people structure things. It's the scaffolding, often invisible, that supports our well-being, more powerful than we often realize.
Absolutely. So we're better to start looking at this blueprint than, right at the beginning, the start of the day.
Makes sense? The foundation.
Let's focus on those first few hours, that time that often really sets the tone for everything else.
Yeah.
Our source, it lays out a very clear sequence, doesn't it? Things that feel universal.
Yeah, it does.
It starts with wake up.
Yeah.
And then, interestingly, it separates that from get up.
An important distinction.
Then it moves through brush my teeth, wash my face, take a shower, have breakfast, and finally launching into the day, go to work or go to school.
And the examples they give really make it concrete, don't they? Things like, I wake up at 7 o'clock.
I brush my teeth after waking up. Or I take a shower in the morning. I have breakfast at 8 a.m. It's not just vocabulary, is it? It's the rhythm of millions of lives.
Okay, let's really unpack this then. It feels like a universal language for starting the day. But why? What's so crucial about these first few hours, these seemingly tiny actions? They feel like more than just tasks.
That's really where the insight is, I think. These simple actions, they form a really powerful sequence. Psychologically, they prime us. Behavioral scientists talk about habit loops.
Trigger, routine, reward. Yeah.
Exactly. So waking up is the trigger. But getting up, that's the first conscious act. A small win, sort of telling your brain, okay, I'm engaging now.
Right, passive versus active.
Precisely. And then the hygiene stuff, brushing teeth, shower, it's more than just clean. It's almost ritualistic. Self-care, setting boundaries, it signals a shift from rest to activity, and it helps avoid decision fatigue. By automating these first few choices, you save mental energy for later.
Like clearing the decks. Yeah, clearing the mental runway. Then breakfast fuel, another moment of structure. An anchor before the demands of work or school kick in. It gives a sense of control, preparation, sets a positive tone.
So it's like building momentum. Small wins, building confidence, reducing that mental load before the day really hits you. A warm-up act for your life.
That's a good way to put it.
Getting ready physically and mentally. Okay, but the day moves on. Our source then shifts to the afternoon and evening. What changes do we see then?
Yeah, the energy definitely shifts. The source introduces things like have lunch, that essential midday break. Then, as work or school wraps up, you get come home, often followed by the crucial take a rest. Then cook dinner, have dinner. And as things wind down, it's more personal, watch TV, read a book, and finally go to bed.
And the examples map this out too. I have lunch at 1 p.m. I come home in the evening, I cook dinner at 7, I go to bed at 10 p.m. It's like the day has movements, different feeling.
Definitely. And if you look at the bigger picture, these shifts, going from external demands in the morning to more internal focus later on, they're vital for well-being. Lunch isn't just food, it's a cognitive reset.
Right, stops you burning out.
Exactly, and coming home, that's a huge psychological boundary, shifting from your public self to your private self.
That's a really interesting point, gearing up versus winding down.
Yeah.
But I wonder, in our always connected culture, are we blurring those lines too much? checking work emails at night.
Ah, that's a huge challenge, isn't it? And very relevant. When we don't maintain those boundaries, we invade what psychologists sometimes call our restorative niches.
Restorative niches.
Yeah, coined by Secret Mahali. Those things we do, places we go to recharge mentally, emotionally, things like take rest, cook dinner, even have dinner can be those niches. They let us process the day, drop the social mask. But if work intrudes, your brain doesn't switch off properly, impacts sleep, increases stress, makes you less effective the next day.
So those simple phrases, come home, take a rest, they actually hold some deep wisdom.
They really do. They point to an ideal of distinct phases. These activities let us decompress, get nourishment, connect with family perhaps over dinner, preparing us for sleep, the ultimate recharge.
It's a powerful reminder of why those transitions matter. Okay, so we have the morning structure, the afternoon-evening transition, but then there's the part where we really choose, isn't there? Where we're not obligated.
Ah, yes, free time, where individuality really comes out.
Exactly, the canvas of choice. Free time and hobbies. This is where people express interests, work on themselves, or just relax. Our source gives us a good list here.
It does. We see things like listen to music, play games, exercise, go shopping, meet friends, travel, play sports, and significantly, learn English.
And the examples again, I listen to music in the evening, I meet friends on weekends, I exercise every morning, I learn English every day. Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting for a deep dive, I think. These self-directed choices. What do they tell us about our values, our priorities? It's like a window, isn't it?
Absolutely. This part really shows the dual role of free time. Sometimes it's just pure relaxation, stress relief, like listening to music, playing games, mental escape. But other times, it's about growth. Exercise, travel, play sports, and definitely learn English. These point to building skills, improving yourself, broadening horizons, building what we call self-efficacy.
Believing you can do things.
Right. And notice how social connection is key too. Meet friends. We're social animals. That's crucial for mental health.
Yeah.
What's also interesting are those useful expressions the source gives. I never. On weekends, in my free time,
Right, those aren't just grammar points.
Not at all. They're frameworks for thinking about our own habits. How often do we really do these things? They reveal our actual priorities, maybe not just what we say they are. And mentioning learn English every day or exercise every morning, that champions consistency, doesn't it? Small, regular actions. It's the power of micro habits. Small steps leading to big results over time, consistency over intensity.
That's a great point about micro habits. The power of just showing up, even for a bit every day. It says a lot about how we use that precious free time. And speaking of individuals, our source actually gives us examples, Anna and James.
Yes, we get these little snapshots. Anna's routine: wakes at 7, teeth, breakfast, school, weekends, friends, maybe shopping.
And the listening part adds more detail, right? Shower, school at 8, lunch at 1, homework, then music, bed at 10. Quite structured.
Very. And then James, up earlier, 6:03 bed, work at 9, evenings are more solitary TV, reading.
So when we put these side by side, what does it tell us? How do these universal patterns look different in real lives? What's the same? What's unique?
Well, the core structure is clearly there for both, isn't it? Waking, hygiene, eating, main activity, work, school, that's the anchor. But the timing differs. James starts earlier, probably dictated by work. Anna's schedule seems driven by school hours.
Right.
But the real difference is in that free time. Anna seems more social, external friends, shopping, maybe more extroverted, or just focused on peers at her stage of life.
And James.
James leans towards quiet, solitary decompression. TV, reading, that could suggest introversion or maybe just needing to mentally switch off after work.
So the core schedule is often set by external demands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Work, school, they build the frame.
But the free time is where personality and needs really shape the details. Social versus quiet, active versus passive. We all have the same 24 hours, but we fill the discretionary bits very differently.
Precisely. It shows how we customize within those constraints.
It's like we all get the same basic kit, but build something unique. And sometimes part of that build involves these really tiny, almost invisible interactions that are still part of the routine.
Our source even touches on this, surprisingly.
The cafe role play. Yeah, seems simple.
Totally. Anna ordering tea, a sandwich, water from James the waiter.
A very standard functional exchange.
You do things like that all day, ordering coffee, buying a ticket, quick chat with the cashier. We barely notice them as routine, but they are. I remember once being so glued to my phone reading news, I nearly walked into the counter ordering coffee. They're so automatic. But what's their real role beyond just getting stuff done?
Well, what's fascinating is how these brief functional dialogues are really integral. They're like social lubricant or just practical necessity. They're not huge events, but they're essential threads holding the day together. Think about interacting with a bus driver or a shop assistant. These small, often effortless interactions move us along, satisfy needs, provide brief moments of polite connection. They make society function smoothly, like the connective tissue of our day.
Exactly. The interstitial tissue of routines. Small links providing cohesion, reinforcing social norms, making transactions predictable, reducing friction.
Wow. From an English learning podcast, what an incredible deep dive this has turned out to be. We've gone from the basic blocks, mornings, afternoons, evenings.
The psychological priming, the restorative transitions.
Right. Then into free time, what our choices really mean about our values, our goals.
Yeah, relaxation versus growth, the social aspect.
Then seeing it play out with Anna and James, the individual blueprints.
Yeah.
And even down to those tiny micro routines like ordering coffee.
And through it all, I think we've seen that this ordinary structure of our days, it holds really profound insights about our well-being, our values, how we connect with the world. It's not just what we do, but the why and the effect of it all. It's a powerful lens to look at your own life.
Definitely. And the source itself ends with that thought, doesn't it? Just 10 minutes of speaking English daily can change everything. It really speaks to that power of small, consistent actions.
It really does. And this raises, I think, an important question for you listening right now. Thinking about your own daily or maybe weekly patterns. What intentional, consistent 10 minutes could you weave in? Could be a hobby, could be reflection, learning a skill, maybe just gratitude. Something small but regular that could lead to a really positive shift in your life. What part of your blueprint, your routine, are you maybe ready to look at differently or reshape now that we've explored its hidden power?
Something to think about. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.
We'll see you next time.